What is up, guys? Unbearable Boss, and I'm going to be posting this video, Story Time with Eddie. I just wanted to take the time to let you guys know this was the very last video I posted at my job. The last day I worked was January 31st, 2022, and then me and everybody else that were doing the job that I was doing, consulting or whatever, they were let go in February 1st, 2022. So, yeah, I've basically have had no job since February 1st. I'm working on it. It's tough. The whole economy and everything's crap. Nobody can get a job. I can't get a job. I've applied for a dozen, went up to different offices, called people, none. Tried everything I can to get a job, but nothing's working out my way. But luckily, the good Lord right here, he has a way for me to go. All I got to do is listen and follow it. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Yeah,
We
enjoy.
that he come into the top doghouse. Of course, the top doghouse was about as wide as this trailer. I could reach almost across both sides and touch both sides. And he come in there and he says, "You used to play football, didn't you?" And I said, "Yeah, I played." He said, "Was you pretty good?" I said, "I was all right." He said, "I tell you what I can do." He said, "We can get down here in the 3-point stance in this doghouse." He said, I can get around you and you can't even touch me." He said, "That's how fast I am." And he's a big old chubby boy anyway. I said, "There ain't no way." I said, "I can touch both sides of this doghouse. There's no way we can get out here in the 3-point stance and you can get around me. There's just no way." So a little bit, our water can was right outside the doghouse. Had a place out there that was mounted just for it. Anyway, he eased out that door without me not paying much attention. So when he came back in the door, he didn't say anything. He just motioned for me. "Come on, 3-point stance," you know. He just got down there, you know. So I said, "All right, I'm on." Ain't no way. So boy, I get down there in a 3-point stance, and about that time, he goes, whew, he had a mouthful of water, blowed water right in my face. That's before I wore glasses. He blowed that water right in my face. Of course, first thing you do, reaction you do, is you go like that. And of course, as soon as I did, he just walked right around me, you know. He said, "I told you I could get around you that you touched me." I said, "You sorry dog." So yeah, that had to be. Then we used to get out there and we'd say, "Hey, now give me one of your hairs out of your head. You ever seen two hairs fight?" You know, and then they'd say, "No, well, give me one of your hairs out of your head." And they'd pluck one hair out of their head, and I'd pluck one out of mine, you know. And we'd get the water can lid, we'd fill it full of water, and we'd drop that hair down there, and he'd drop his down there and say, "Now watch them, they'll start wrestling here in a minute. They'll come together. Electricity will bring them together. They'll start wrestling, boy. And look at it close, look at it close." Of course, by the time they're ready to get, I said, "You got to get down there." When they get down there, you throw that water right in their face, you know. Oh, yeah. We used to have that V door out there on the rig with every new hand that didn't know nothing. You know, we'd tell them, "Hey, we gotta pick up some more pipe. We gotta have the V door key. That pusher out there's got the V door key." He said, "Run out there at his trailer and tell him you need the V door key." Of course, every time they go out there, the pusher need them out. "There ain't no such thing as a V door key. Get back up that rig and get to work." But we was always pulling some kind of shenanigans out there. And we had one hand one time. He came out of the office, and he was going to work in the office, but he had to put like 6 months in the field time in before they'd let him do his job there in the office. And so we took a Gojo can, hand cleaner, and after it was empty, we tied a piece of rope on it, about 40 foot long, and we told him, he said, "You got to bail out that mouse hole with this bucket." Well, he'd drop that bucket down in there and pull it up and go over the side of the rig and pour it off, then a little bit we'd send him down to the shell shaker to get a sample. While he's gone, we'd grab the water hose and fill it back up, you know. But all day long he'd be over there dipping that water out of there, and every time he'd leave we'd be filling it back up. Which in running wasn't no such thing. It didn't have to be dipped out. We just done that to be ornery, really. But on the rig we had a lot of good times. We had water fights in the summertime, and get a 5-gallon bucket and hide behind the drawworks or something. When somebody come out, you go, whoosh, get them all wet. And we just had a lot of good fun. It was fun back then because you enjoyed your job. Most of the time everybody got along great. So you walked around in caution all the time because where they at and what they fixing to do to me, you know. Where they we kicked the broom. We've cut the sacks over their head. We just a little everything down through the years. It's funny what people will do. And I remember one time I was doubling over for another driller, and about the middle of the tower. Well, I hadn't seen no hands in a while, and I thought, where is everybody? So I thought, well, I'll walk down to the pits from the floor, walk around and see if I can see what's going on. So I walked down by the pits, and when I got down by the mud house, well, there they all was down on the ground, right on the back, in the back of the mud house. 4 grown men back there playing cars had sticks, and they had a little village, little town, streets, and they 4 grown men back there playing cars in the oil field. You just never know what you're going to get into. It's pretty hilarious, but it's been a good time. The oil field's been good to me, and fed my family for the past 40 years. And so
gonna feed them for the next 40, right?
There you go. There you go. So I've met lots of good people in the oil field, and the oil field's really a small community of people. I mean, once you meet and get to know people, well, normally they're your friends for years, and you know, you bump into them here or there, or bump into somebody else you know that knows them, and so it's a pretty tight-knit group of people. There you go.
There's one more story I want you to tell.
Yeah? Which one?
The one where you were 15 years old and you had a good interaction with a cop.
Well,
from start to finish.
I was actually 16. I just turned 16. I've been 16 2 weeks when this happened. And I'd been driving around Lindsay for a long time with no driver's license, but I just got my driver's license, and 2 weeks after I got my driver's license, well, me and my brother-in-law, my best friend, was out fixing fence, skipping school really, but we were working. We were fixing fence or building fence. And anyway, it got pretty close to noontime, and so I told him, I said, let's go to town and get a hamburger. So we ran into town, get a hamburger, and my wife now was my girlfriend then, and she was in class at school, and my old pickup had dual exhaust on it, so I dropped her down in low gear, and I run the stop sign and kind of revved her up about 35 mile an hour in a 20 mile an hour zone, and let off the gas. Of course, when I did it, pow, 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 and I knew she would know that I was outside the school when I went by. Well, unbeknownst to me, there was a policeman in the alley of the school, and he seen me run the stop sign. Of course, I was speeding, and first thing he did is hit his lights. And my best friend, brother-in-law, they said, boy, you better get out of here. So, boy, I chomped the gas to it. We shot down Chickasaw Street to 10th Street, turned it about sideways, and then went 2 more blocks and hit Highway 19, and we went airborne, went over into the Trend Motel parking lot, and it was a little bit muddy, and we were just spinning rooster tails, and back out on the highway we go. And we'd always been told that if you get across the county line, ain't nothing they can do. So, boy, that was our goal, to get across the county line. So, boy, we blazed west and running probably 120 or whatever, and we were actually outrunning the policemen. And so, but when we got across the county line, well, we thought, well, ain't nothing you can do about it now. So, probably about, I'm gonna say probably a quarter mile to half a mile in Grady County. Said, all right, he can't do nothing, so I just pull over the side of the road and wait on him. And so he pulls up behind me, and of course he comes out, jumps out, and comes running up there, and he's filling all over the steering column for the keys. And of course I was a smart aleck, so the keys to that old 71 Ford was down here on the left-hand side. So I reached down there and I pulled them out, and I said, you looking for these? And what I did, snatch, well, he snatched them keys out of my hand, and out of that truck, he says. So I go to get down out of the truck, up against that truck, and I lean up against the truck, and he kind of frisked me a little bit, and before I know it, he already has handcuff on my left hand. And when I realized what's going on then, it's when I just swirl around and I deck him right in the middle of the highway. And brother-in-law and friend was still in the pickup, and they was hollering, he's gonna shoot you, he's gonna shoot you. And I thought, and then I kind of come to my senses a little bit, and I said, yeah, he does have a gun, I don't. So I said, okay, all right. So anyway, he got up out of the road, boy, he was really mad now. And back up against that truck, he cussed me, and he tells me, he said, I'm going to let one of these guys drive your pickup back to town. I said, no, you're not. Again, I've just been smart aleck. And he said, well, that's okay, I'll have it towed, you can pay for it. I said, oh, it's okay for them to go ahead and drive my truck in. So he asked one of them if they had their driver's license. My brother-in-law did. And so he handed him the keys, and he told him, he said, you don't start this truck till I'm ready for you to. Okay, so, well, he carried me back to the police car to put me in the police car. Well, when he does, my brother-in-law starts up my pickup. Well, he forgets about me, and out comes that gun, and he runs back up there and sticks it right up to my brother-in-law's head, just like that. And I didn't tell you to start this truck up. He was hot, he was nervous, and I understand that these days. Then I was just a kid, stupid kid. But anyway, he hauled us to town. It cost me, it was $67. I had 5 tickets. I don't remember what all there was. I know it was eluding an officer, reckless driving, speeding, running a stop sign. I can't remember what the other one was, but there was 5 tickets that they issued me for that little incident. I guess probably hitting the police officer. And so anyway, we came up with $66. So $67 was going to cost to keep me out of jail. And we had $66. So I told the cop, I said, I'll tell you what, I'll go home and bring you back that $1. Oh, no, you won't, he said. He said, you're going to spend the night right here in jail if you don't have $67 is what it's going to take for you to get out. And again, my girlfriend, she was there at the jailhouse, so she went outside across the street to the post office, and a little old kid, I'm going to say Brent was his name. I knew him, he knew me, but he was probably 5 or 6 years younger than I was. And like I said, I was 16, so he's probably about 11. And anyway, she bummed $1 off of him to come back over there and pay the guy so I could get out of jail. And so I learned my lesson. So yeah, don't be hitting no officers. Be kind to the officers. They're out there to take care of us. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
That was awesome. Now, to the younger generation, do you have a valid message to give them?
Well, just from experience, get your education. I didn't get my education. I got married early. I did get my GED later, but get your education, because without your education, the only other avenue you have is to work hard. That's the only way you can get in life. It's either through education or hard work, and don't be afraid of work, because that's what makes a man, is getting out, doing your job, taking care of your family. That's your duties. That's your responsibilities, and go at it with all you got. I mean, when you're working, work, and when you're playing, play. Work hard, play hard. That kind of deal. But the best thing I can give you is trust the Lord, because I know I didn't get saved till I was 26, and it changed my whole life, my whole attitude, everything about me. So today I serve the Lord with all my heart, and that's you got to put God first in everything you do. Put Him first. When you put Him first, everything else just kind of falls into place. And so I would encourage you to trust the Lord, and be honest, be above board. Man's integrity is all he has, his word. And if you say you're going to do something, try your best to fulfill it. Sometimes things happen, circumstances that you might not be able to, but do your best to do what you say you're going to do, and people will respect you for that. Respect those that that's respect is a big word in this day and time. You want to be respected, respect others, and it'll come home to you. So what you do to others always comes back home to you. So that's my advice. Trust the Lord.
That was beautiful, Eddie.
Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Thank you.